Throw my picture out the window. Tell MCI to cut the phone poles. Break my lease so I can move. Cause you a bugaboo, a bugaboo. I wanna put your number on the call block. FAOL, make my email stop. Cause you a bugaboo. You bugging what you bugging, who you bugging me. And don't you see it ain't cool.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Jessica Marie and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, I just want to say welcome. This is a channel where we heal and grow together. And if you guys are returning, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for your support as always. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell down below. That way, anything that I do post, you guys won't miss. So let's go ahead and hop into today's video. All right, y'all. So how are you guys doing today? I hope all is well. All is well with me. So, of course, you guys already know the news from my last update video that I did post last week, that your girl is moving to Virginia. I'm still in awe. As you guys can see, I'm still in my apartment. By the time you guys see this, I'll be in Virginia. So I'm still just wrapping my brain around everything, just like still figuring out exactly my next steps. But I know at the end of the day, God does have me. He always has me. He will never forsake me. He will never leave me. So I know that he has a great plan for my life. And I know that it's just temporary. It's just a season. Sometimes it can be kind of scary, Sorry, y'all. I just had a whole cough attack, so please, forgive me if I am coughing. I'll make sure to edit that stuff out too, by the way. But yeah, so today's video is going to consist of my 6 tips on preparing to move out of state. I feel like moving in general is pretty much the same, but it's just different with you moving out to a whole new city, state that you don't know of. So hopefully my tips will definitely help you guys. And I just thought it would just be a great addition since I am also in a transition of my life right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. My very first tip, and by the way, if you guys start seeing me look down, it's because I do have my notes. So I'm just looking at that. So just bear with me, or just don't mind it. Okay, so my first tip is definitely going to be pray, and pray. Pray and ask God for clarity and direction. I feel like that's definitely the most important tip, which is why I made sure this was my first tip. That's exactly what I did. Once I felt like, okay, I felt like I had the feeling of I'm going to be moving to Charlotte, I definitely made sure that I had asked God for confirmation. I knew in my heart I wanted to move to North Carolina, but for me, I wasn't trying to move until I was at least 35. So I felt like it was very ironic that God chose, for me to move on my during my 30th year. So it was just kind of like a fresh new start for me, and I am just, I'm just still in awe that I made that move by myself and I didn't know anyone, and it literally was by the grace of God. And I feel like God orchestrated everything from the place I was supposed to stay at, to of course my job, to the people who are in my life, to the influencer journey that I'm on. Just everything has just been orchestrated by him. So I definitely encourage you guys to please pray and ask God for direction. I asked for confirmation, and if you guys saw my God Told Me to Move video, you'll see that I received 6 confirmations. So I wanted to make sure that that was him and him only, and not me. Definitely. So, and sometimes too, you may pray and God, it seemed like he be taking his sweet time with answering prayers sometimes, but also sometimes he may want you to be still. So you might be like, Lord, I have a desire to move to, let's just say, Texas, and I want to move to Houston, and you may want to go like right now at this second, but God's like, you know what? I don't want you to move until 2024. you know, like instead of 2023, 2024. Like I got something in store for you, but I want you to be patient because I want to make sure that you are safe. I want to make sure that you have the best tools and resources. That way, whenever I do move you into that new season, into that new place, that you're equipped and that you're prepared to succeed and to fulfill whatever purpose that I have you there for. 2, saving your money. Save them coins, honey. Save them coins. Moving is not cheap at all. I will say honestly, and this is just my opinion, if you guys can sell your furniture, depending on how old it is, sell your furniture and then move down and get all new furniture, I feel like that might be easier because you will be cutting costs with finding movers. However, you know, your furniture might be new. That's what I did. I had bought furniture, I think that was like January, and then I knew I was moving in May. So, and that's a whole nother video about my moving situation. It's actually one of the tips too, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're saving your money because moving, like I said, is definitely expensive. You want to make sure that you are saving your money for having movers because, you know, it can run $2,000-$3,000 depending on, you know, the size of if you have a house or your apartment size, what have you, for them to move your furniture and, you know, go statewide to wherever you're trying to go and unload. It can get pretty expensive, y'all. So definitely you want to make sure that you are saving your money. And then also, of course, you know, if you're putting a down payment on a house, if you're moving to a house, if you are moving to an apartment, you want to make sure that you guys have the money for your first month's rent. Sometimes, depending on when you move, you know, it might be prorated rent. And then also your security deposit. I do know nowadays they do have like, I think it's called Jetty, where it's like you can pay installments like on a payment plan for your security deposit, depending on what it is. I know that down here in Charlotte, apartments are pretty pricey, $1,200 plus. So, you know, if you know, trying to, let's say you move in October, you're going to have your October rent for wherever you have first, the prorated rent, and then also you got to make sure that you have your money for November's rent. Like, it's pretty expensive. And then also, are you going to be driving or are you going to be shipping your car? That's also money. Also supplies, moving supplies, you know, things like that. Like, it can be very, very expensive. And then sometimes people, you know, may move without even having a job. So if that's the case, you might not have a job lined up or whatever, you know, you still want to make sure that you have money saved. So then that way you can live off of your savings while you're into this new place, you know? So like I said, God is a God of miracles. Don't get me wrong, but also faith without works is dead. So you want to make sure that you are doing your part by saving. I highly recommend it. You know, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. You know, I had saved up money, but also I was very blessed and fortunate enough to have my mom too. So she definitely helped me with the cost of moving, but it definitely was a lot. I will definitely tell you that. And then also, you know, if you want to decorate, you know, you want to decorate your new place and stuff, that's still money too. So make sure you guys are definitely saving your money. So important, and you will thank me and thank yourself in the long run. 3, definitely research the area that you're going to be living in. So one of the things that I did was, once I knew that I was moving to Charlotte, they have different areas. So there's like South End, there's University area, there's NODA, there's Uptown, you know, and then there's also some places that are not really good areas, where the crime is, you know, a little bit higher. So you just want to make sure that you are staying in a safe environment. So, whenever I, you know, first moved, or whenever I was first started to look, I was in this group. It was a Facebook group called Flip the Zip. Hopefully they're still there. And if I can find the link, I'll definitely link it below. and they have it everywhere. So I mean, any city, state, they have it. But it's called Flip the Zip, and of course, the zip means you're changing your zip code. And they had a Charlotte chapter, so I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. And basically, the group was just about people, and their experiences on, like moving to Charlotte. What areas, are deemed safe? What areas do they like? And then also, you might want to live in like an artsy type of neighborhood. So then it's like, okay, Noda's very artsy, eclectic. Or you might want to, you like the scenery and you want to like see the skyscrapers and things like that. So then it's like, okay, you could move uptown. Or if you're a college student, you don't want to commute too far away, then there's University City. So a lot of students live in University City because there is a college here, UNC Charlotte. So you definitely want to research those areas as well as affordability. Also pricing. So, everyone's budget is different. So, you may have to save up for a 2-bedroom. I would say uptown, you can be spending $2,000 plus on a studio just for the view. But then if you go somewhere outside like Huntersville or University, you may be able to get a 2-bedroom for $1,750. So it's kind of like you kind of just want to weigh those pros and cons. And definitely do not settle. Go for what you want, but also at the same time, even if you have to be like, all right, like I know I want to move uptown, but I can't move right now because I just don't have the funds. It's not in my budget right now. That is okay. You can always move to like University, Huntersville, Concord, and it's not too far from uptown. It's about 20-25 minutes, depending on if you hop on 45. And then just save your money, and then that way you can be able to move, because they're building so many buildings here, so in apartment complexes and things like that. So you'll definitely be able to move something. Also, South End is really, really good as well. Number 4, I would say visit to make sure that this is something that you truly want. I know people who have moved here. They never been here before and they did not like it. And they were like, what did I do? I did come here in March of 2021, and I was with my best friend and my mom, and we were looking at apartments, and it just felt like home. It was very beautiful, and I'm just like, wow, like I know that this is where I want to be. I gave it a chance, and I absolutely loved it. And I knew that if it wasn't for me, a year, I was able to always, go back home too. But I would definitely say make sure that you visit here and, see the scenery, see the see the scenery, see the people, see, just certain things. And like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily just be Charlotte, but wherever you want to move, Houston or California or LA, like make sure you guys visit, so that way you know that, okay, like this is exactly where I want to be. I want to be here. And sometimes you may want to be there, but then you may visit somewhere else and love it. I know I used to visit frequently DC, and I was like, this is my home. I love it. I love, how it's eclectic as well, and it's a DMV, But deep in my heart, I knew, like, I don't know, like, I'm moving because I knew I had family there. My friend lived there at the time. So it was just kind of like, I liked it, but deep down I knew it wasn't for me. Where in North Carolina, it was just kind of like, this is it. This was home. I knew instantly. 5, finding social groups and be open. As I was saying, I found a Facebook page, and that's actually one of the confirmations that I had whenever I was asking God, is Charlotte the move? And I seen someone saying about, Charlotte, moving to Charlotte, Flip the Zip out of nowhere. So I'm just like, okay, like, where'd this come from? So I knew it was God. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, the Facebook page, Flip the Zip, was definitely a great start. We had Zoom calls, and this was still in the midst of COVID. So this was 2020. So we would have Zoom calls, we would talk. discuss things to do, what we like, and even just meet up with some of, I know some of the ladies in the group met up with each other. I didn't get a chance to meet any of the ladies that were in the group, but I know they had a good time. They were posting pictures and things like that. So definitely do that. And then with Charlotte, I know that they have a lot of social groups here. So if you're an influencer, I would check out Exo Influencer. That's actually the group I'm in right now. And then they have Black Girl Social Club. That's also a good one. They have Black Print, I think, CLT. They have a whole bunch of social groups where you can kind of get out and meet new people. And then that's a way to really honestly get to know people, network, as well as form genuine friendships, you know? And then you get to hang out with each other, you get to explore the city with one another, and you build that rapport. So then that was just like, you might be bored on a Friday night and be like, hey girl, y'all want to go out to eat or go to a rooftop or something, like, let's go do it. As I was saying with the social groups, yes, I feel like it's a great way to meet people and get yourself out there safe, because you're all meeting in a public place, and then it's on Instagram, so you're able to read other people's like testimonials and kind of see like the places that they go. So I would highly suggest you find social groups and just look in Instagram. I want to say I just put social groups on Instagram and it just came about. It's like, oh, okay. And you know how the algorithm is. So once you put like a social group setting and you find one, then depending on wherever city you're in, it will start showing you more social groups within the area that you're in. And then my last tip is going to be researching moving companies. I say this because I don't know if I'm even going to talk about my story, but my moving story, I had a horror story with moving to Charlotte and the moving company I did. And although I did my research, I feel like I could have researched a little bit more, but I was under pressure because I got the job November of 2020 and I started December of 2020. And they were like, we need you to move by May of 2021. And I was just like, what? I think first it was like May 1st. And I'm just like, May 1st? And it was like December. So I'm just like, what the heck? So, I was definitely under pressure trying to make sure that I, book, these people. And the company I booked through, like the vendor, they were great and they were awesome. It's just, the group that I had were great. It was the vendor they chose. It was horrible. It wasn't a really great experience, and I'll just share a little bit about it. I'll just say, when I was getting ready to move, whenever they came, they always make sure to double check, like, this is all the items we're going to be moving. Everything's set on a base rate. And then whenever they came, they were like, oh, well, they go by units instead of square foot. And they're like, well, they can only move my living room furniture. And then that was that. And I'm like, I know you lying. For the amount of money I paid for this living room, oh, you got me sorry. Again. I said, I know you lying. So I was just like, you got me messed up, okay? Like, no. So it was just horrible. And then whenever I did move, stuff was missing, stuff was broken, y'all. And when I researched the vendor, I was seeing all types of crazy, bad, horrible reviews. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, and I didn't know the vendor until they got there. So it wasn't like, I read up on the vendor. And like I said, whenever I went with the group, there were so many great things about it. So please, if you guys can, I would say please research the moving companies. And that's also why I suggested selling your furniture and then just starting all over here, because that's something that I had to do. I ended up leaving my furniture back in Pittsburgh. And actually, you know, my mom took my furniture in, which was great. So, and she needed new furniture. So it worked out. But I had to get a new dining table. I had to get new couches. Like, it was a mess. And I, you know, if I can encourage anybody, or, you know, make sure that no one goes through what I've gone through, please make sure you guys research. But that's all the tips I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to hear about my horror story, I will tell you about it. So just make sure that you guys comment in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys later.